So is Senator Mitchell a member of the DFL caucus?
So,
or is she just not in meetings?
as I have said, Senator Mitchell is, yes, she remains a member. She's not participating in our caucus meetings.
You said she wasn't a member yesterday, though.
I was answering a question that I understood. I was answering the same question twice. So I thought I was answering the same question about what I'd already said, that she was a member but not participating in our caucus.
What does that mean? Does that mean that she still has, does she still have like caucus resources that she gets to use? Like what does it mean to be a member but not participating in meetings?
She is not coming to our meetings. And I think it's important that we have a bright line drawn, right? And for our sake, and for her sake, and for the ethics complaint that we will face, I think it is very important that we are keeping clean, clear lines. She's not participating in our caucus. She still has her LA. She is still a member of the DFL caucus. And I'm clear about that. We're clear about that. And we're moving forward with the agenda for the people of Minnesota.
When are you moving forward with the agenda for the people of Minnesota? I mean, this is okay. So you did the junk bills, but when are you going to be able to do other stuff?
So you will see or have seen us starting to move the budget bills through the Minnesota Senate. They're moving in the Minnesota House. We had breakfast this morning with the leaders, the 4 leaders of the caucuses and the governor. We're in the beginning stages of negotiating the bonding bill and the terms of the bonding bill. So, we've got 20 days, and 20 days in most cases seems like not a lot of time, but in legislative time, that is a lot of time. The work is moving through, and we will proceed and get it done.
And how does it look for the gun bills in the Senate?
So I was glad to see that the House began to take that work up. They haven't finished it, and so we don't know when we'll get it, and when we do, we'll make a decision about how we're going to move forward.
Any updates on the bonding, just state of play on the bonding based on this morning's discussion at the governor's mansion?
So what is clear to me is that the bonding bill, which of course is something that most members want, and influences decisions for communities across the state, is a subject matter that we're going to negotiate separate from everything else. That is the way that we do this work. So we're in the very early process of negotiating back and forth over the amount and how that's going to proceed.
Speaker Bertman, I think, or one of you said last week that they felt Republicans were not on the same page about what they wanted. Was that your interpretation of today still, or did they seem on the same page?
I would say that we're getting some mixed messages from the Republicans and some mixed participation from Senator Housley in the negotiations around bonding, but I am sure as we get here in earnest and begin the work to finish that bill that they will plug in.
Was there talk of Senator Mitchell's resignation at the breakfast this morning?
We spent our time focused on the matters relating to bonding primarily. I think that there was some acknowledgement of Senator Mitchell's situation, but we didn't talk in great detail.
Have you or anybody else in the caucus asked Senator Mitchell directly to resign?
As I started on this topic a week ago, we don't know all the facts of this matter. It is both a serious matter and for many of us a heartbreaking matter. I think Senator Mitchell is entitled to due process both here in the Ethics Subcommittee, in the Court of Law, and she has hard and serious conversations that she needs to have with her family and her constituents.
Then have you or any other members of the caucus that you're aware of asked her directly to resign?
So again, I will say she has serious conversations that she needs to have with her constituents and her family on this very serious matter.
Speaking of bonding, are you concerned, based on today's discussions, that the situation with Senator Mitchell will impede the bill's ability to get done here on the Senate floor?
The Speaker and I and the Governor are really clear that we need to get the work of the people of Minnesota done. And whether we have the participation or not of our minority leaders will be their choice, but we are going to proceed with the work and get it done.
Have you come any closer to where Republicans have been on EMS funding? I know that was something that they said would be a kind of a chip that would help them want to vote for a bonding bill.
Yeah, I think that is going to be a part of bonding. That is the one issue that is connected to bonding. And I think there's mutual interest on parts of all 4 caucuses and the governor to make sure that we're doing our work on that.
Folks, we have time for one more. All right.
talk about.
Go, you go. I had one and I forgot.
I was going to ask about are you going to put $25 million for US Bank Stadium in the bonding?
All right. Thank you very, very much for your time today.
Yeah, that's a question.
That's a question for Senator Pappas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was a good one. You would have loved the answer.
It would have cracked everything open, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's a little better than in the past couple of days.
I'm just walking through.
Maybe here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
story. Okay, that's good. Just want to make sure everybody has space.
All right, it is ready for action? Okay, good. Well, it was an interesting day on the floor today. I think we saw yesterday when Senator Murphy unequivocally said that Senator Mitchell was removed from the caucuses. We did our work and prepared a motion that would reflect that and balance the committees according to our Senate rules. And today you saw the Democrats really turn face. Before they've been saying you've got to follow the rules, due process, procedure. But today they undercut us in those efforts, which was very concerning. Now we don't know if we are at 33, 34 caucuses or if we have 33, 33, and 1. And so we tried to get clarification today. Members wouldn't yield. This is very rare. We had 3 Senate members not yield to questions on very, very important answers. This determines the outcome of this session, and Democrats are unwilling to give answers to that. Now, this is just a pure play on political power. They want to retain it through the very end, and I guarantee that's what you're going to see. They're going to try to keep Senator Mitchell here until the very end of session so they can get their agenda through at the expense of half of Minnesota. We don't get our voices heard. What you see going on there is we're getting cut out of the discussions. Now, they're jeopardizing the bonding bill on that. That's something that we wanted to discuss, we wanted to talk about. It's something that we talked about a little bit this morning at breakfast in the governor's mansion as well. But what you see is Democrats saying, we want a bonding bill, we want our entire agenda done, and we want you guys to be quiet while we do that. And we are not unwilling to do that as a Senate Republicans.
Is bonding, or has this become the main bargaining chip for a bonding bill?
No, I mean, look, usually the bonding bill is something that's negotiated, right? It's negotiating votes, it's negotiating on what projects are in there. That's typically what we're talking about. But now what you see, we really don't know who's in control of the Senate. If it's 33, 33, and 1, then we have much more negotiating to do. But if it's 33, 34, then we'll have to take a different route.
Why the test of who has the majority has been every single vote this week, which has been 34-33. It appears to me they have a working majority. Well, why doesn't that count?
So what you're seeing is one of their members that they say is being kicked out of their caucus, still getting apparently the support of the caucus, but then what they're saying on the floor is something completely different. And so we have no idea what that looks like. Now, of course, the votes matter and which way they go with it. But like in committees, we're trying to change the Rules Committee to proportionality of the caucuses, which our rules state needs to happen. And they're unwilling to do that. And so, I mean, we've got the person in question who's making that deciding vote on the floor today. This is just really a chaotic ending to the session.
If Senator Mitchell were to yield to questions, what would your members want to talk to her and ask her questions about?
Well, we've got a lot of questions we'd like to ask, but I think the big one today was, are you a member of the Democrat caucus or are you not? It was very simple.
Have you spoken to Senator Mitchell at all since her arrest?
No.
How does that differ from the Tomasoni-Bach situation where they left a caucus? They didn't totally join the Republican caucus, but they announced that they were voting with the Republican caucus. Now, that case didn't change the majority because they came from the minority, but can't she be a person of one and say, but I'm going to vote with the majority, and there's your majority?
She certainly could say that. I wish she would say what she is doing. But what we need to do is make sure that the committees reflect that change then. And that's what our rules require. And so by keeping this in the gray area, then we don't know what to do with our rules and what the committee makeup is going to be.
Is there a situation where the Senate Republican caucus seeks a higher authority to figure this thing out?
I think there'd be an opportunity for some clarification from an outside body. We'll continue to assess that.
Who's the outside body?
There are 3 branches of government, so we'll pick one to see if we can figure out could happen.
What else happened at breakfast this morning? What kind of bonding discussion?
We had great bacon and eggs that was there and some yogurt, so it was excellent.
Yogurt, or are you just going to pay cash for that?
It was just we went over the high level policy issues in the body.
Is there a target in mind? I know that it sounds like 980 is a bit high, at least from discussions in the House. Is there a number?
We've given an offer over, and we are waiting for a counteroffer from the Democrats.
There's some differences between House and Senate Republicans. Any comment on what those look like?
No, I think we're very lockstep with the Republicans. We had Leader Damath and myself had a conversation today in which I feel very lockstep. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time.